Hope everybody's doing good. Carl Bryan coming at you with my boy Kenya Pat. What's going on, Kenya Pat?
Kenya Pat lived through a hailstorm today.
I saw something on Facebook. What's the hail? That doesn't sound like the normal thing to be happening.
Well, we are at 6,000 feet, but yes, it started raining and then it hailed. And I mean, I was in shorts today and I will be tomorrow, but interesting. You never know what's going to happen.
Is it 3 seasons in one day or 4 seasons in one day kind of deal?
Yeah, it's,
no snow.
I mean, they only have 2 seasons here. They have, rainy season and dry season. It kind of happens twice a year each. And even the rainy season that we're in it just usually rains usually in the evening or late afternoon, evening, and then stops, and usually gets nice in the day. So can't complain.
Cool. Love it, love it, love it. And the giraffes walking by and the lions cruising around the road.
Well, you can see that. Absolutely. Not in the city. We have monkeys. We had monkeys come over our property the other day, so that's in the city. Like, go figure. They live everywhere.
There we go. I love it. All right. So, folks, Q&A call. You guys are the Q. We're the A. If you got some questions, either raise your hand or check a question in the box, and I can read it out. But in the meantime, to get things going, let's open up a couple folks and see what's happening. Where are we going to go? Let's go to our boy Corey. Corey Delaney, we're coming for you, bud. You are self-muted.
Hey, Carl, how's it going?
Hey, Corey, what's happening in your world, bud?
Oh, not much. I just doing some assessments. The role play with Holly is it's a game changer.
Yeah, that's what I hear. And how so? What's your number one takeaway since going with doing the sessions with Holly? What have you taken away?
The slides was the biggest game changer for me. Putting those slides in after mark domain position and then JVs, it just kind of gives people an idea of what you're talking about.
Yeah. If can I try and explain? I think there's things you know, there's things you don't know, and things you don't know. So when you're explaining something that they don't know, you need to connect it to something that they know, right? Like, I remember I was teaching Aussies, I was living in Australia, and I'm teaching Aussie kids how to play hockey. And they didn't have a bloody, they're like hockey stick, and everybody's right-handed, right? Because they just assume that they're right-handed. And I had to teach them that, well, that's not necessarily the case. You normally want to have your dominant hand on top. So in actuality, if you're right-handed, there's a good chance that you'll be better left-handed because your top hand is the one that controls things, right? But the bottom line is there was something they didn't know. So what I found myself doing is I would use cricket as my, as I was going back and forth, I would compare a lot of which, by the way, very challenging to connect cricket with ice hockey. That wasn't the easiest thing I've ever done, but I was connecting it with something that they knew. So would you agree, Corey, that's what the slides are doing? They don't understand market dominating position, but having the slide is allowing you to connect it to something that they now understood.
Oh yeah, picture
close.
1,000 words.
Just say that again. I missed that.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You just explain it and say, this is a client that we have worked with, and just show them the slides and just go quickly through it. Because that's another thing, is I was trying to sit and brainstorm with these prospects, and I was just dragging it out at an hour and 15 minutes. And she's just like, keep going, just move through. They have no idea what you're talking about. Just keep going.
Yeah. So can you just rise up 30,000 feet and give us a bit of a 1, 2, 3 on how, where do the PowerPoints fit in, and just give us a 1, 2, 3, or maybe a 1 through 5.
I go through market dominant position at the start, and then at the end of it, I just say, hey, listen, here's a quick example of what we've done for one of our clients. I run them quickly through about 7 slides of the psychologist off the 100K, and then I go right to obviously the ROI, show them kind of the impact or the implementation impact, and then I go right to JV, and then I show them the slides in the middle of it, and then I kind of after about 2 questions, I'll quickly show you what a event chain is about, and then I'll show them quickly about the wedding event chain, and then finish that off. And then one thing Holly did show me was big is let them pick the third area of impact.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's cool.
And I did one with a roofer, and it was he just instantly went to increase prices, and right there was like pretty much the software just sold itself because the increased prices at 3% was like a $90,000 impact. Wow. And he just, wow.
Oh, that's interesting. You threw it to him to say, choose the next area we go to. Here's your list. Pick it. All right?
Yeah, just look at the left, take those 9 areas that we didn't cover, just pick one. Is there something stands out to you that you want us to cover quickly? And it's usually they go like, this guy just went right. He had already must have eyed it up. He's like, increase prices.
Yeah, love it. Cool. So you're really mixing and matching the software with the PowerPoint slides. So you're doing a combo, correct?
Absolutely. I watched Billy's a role play there, and I watched it like 10 times. And I'm like, this is just.
Where's Billy? He's becoming famous, Pat. You made him famous, man.
I know, I guess so. I'm going to pull up that. Pull up where people can find that. So.
Yeah, please do that. Cool. Oh, well, there you go. So, any words of wisdom here from Corey to the other folks listening in terms of what they should do?
I lucked out. I get another one with Holly, fourth one, and then I'm in a book with the other 3 with Wally.
Yep. Beautiful. And when you spoke to your roofer, how much did you close him on?
$997.
Yeah, great. Like 12,000, a grand a month for 12 months?
Yeah.
Good job. Well done, bud. High five. We love it.
Awesome.
Okay, let's put you back. Anything else here, Corey? All good?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. How's Junior doing? Corey's got 5 kids, by the way, folks. So there you go. You talk about a busy dude. How old is your youngest?
3 months.
3 months. There you go. You getting any sleep?
Oh yeah, lots. She's still breastfeeding. She takes care of him. I just sleep downstairs, and we're good.
Like all good fathers. That's it. I'll go downstairs.
Get out of there.
Let me stay out of your hair. You got this. I love it. All right, Corey. Appreciate you, buddy. Okay, put Corey back on mute. There we go, eh? What do you think, Pat? You agree with that? You like it? What do you think of his idea of throwing it to the client and saying, you pick the next one? Did you do that? What do you think?
I think it makes sense. I remember Holly doing that, and it totally makes sense because I think they've got something. They often know the answer to their own breakthrough.
Yeah.
So, why fight things and why hunt when they go, oh, I think we could just do this. And, I think people often know where the breakthrough is, and you give them a chance to go there, and it's like, boom, they sell themselves.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I wouldn't have. That's just not something that I have done or would have. I don't think I would have even thought of it. But I'm like, wow, like you said, there's something that's itching at them, and they've been thinking about raising their prices for X amount of time, and they say, look, what happens here? Boom. And apparently that's what happened with Corey and his roofer.
Let's just go to that software in that area to show people like this is so powerful. I'm just in this, I think it's $1 million business. I put 5% in every area, 10% in one. That's the increased prices. So we'll go there now. And so it starts asking you these questions about pricing strategy. Let's lower this down to 5%. We'll submit that. So we see here that this 5% would be a $50,000 corresponding revenue impact. It's also a $50,000 profit impact because when you raise prices, it's 100% profit.
Yes.
You don't measure it against net profit margin or anything. It's all profit. So then the software says, given this increase of 5%, that would increase your net profits by $50,000, which is a 33.3% increase in profit by doing that. And then how many customers do you currently have? So if we could create a perception of higher value and communicate it to your customers in such a way that they understand and accept that value, and you raised your prices by 5%, how many of those 1,000 customers would leave you? They might go, maybe 20. Well, you could lose 250 customers or 25% and still maintain the same net profits. So I really like this area. And I just actually last week, I finished doing a whole training on how to raise your prices and have your customers thank you for it. So, and a lot of this is just like, we know we can probably raise prices. We know we should know why we want to raise prices, the impact on our business, the value for the customer of us raising prices. There's so many areas there that we're looking at. And this chart here, when you click there, it's so amazing to see like these numbers like, oh my gosh, I could raise my prices by 5%. I'd only have to serve 750 customers. And I could lose 250. I'd still be banking the same amount of money. Like, it's really an amazing thought, because most people think, oh, you raise your price by 5%, you're going to lose everyone. And maybe in some industries, if you're selling widgets and you're in a hyper competitive market, you might lose your customers at 5%. But that 5% price increase allows you more income, more profits to be able to go out and serve all your customers at a higher level.
Yeah.
So when you start adding value, because remember, customers shop value, not price. So when you start adding all this value to your customers, you're going to have maybe 10, 20, 50, they're whiners and complainers. They're going to defect anyway because they're very price sensitive. But the rest stay with you. You can use that additional profit to serve those better. And when you serve people better, they start telling their friends more, and you start growing. And then you start growing and you can have more money to serve more people better. It just becomes this endless loop. So I think it's an amazing strategy, but you have to go about it the right way is the key, right? There's steps to follow, and you got to follow the steps. And if you don't do that, you could, some people just raise their price and go, I raised my prices. And it's like, okay, you lose everyone. So you got to be careful how you do it. I've run into that. I remember going to a guy in a barber once. It was in Japan actually, and I'm used to paying like $30 for a cut in Japan. And I went and the guy says, "Oh, it'd be $38, in yen, of course, equivalent." And I goes, "What?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we raised our prices, haha." I'm like, "Okay, I'm done forever with you." But if I'd gone in and he said, "Hey, Pat, you're coming in tomorrow. Just as a note, we had to raise our prices because," and gave me a reason, like our expenses have gone, the cost of living's gone up. I don't care what it is, but he just uses the word because and he gives me a reason. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'd be much more likely to continue with him. And so you have to just go about raising your prices in the correct way. And hopefully we can release that training in a little bit as it's fully ready.
Yeah. Or another example, Pat, would you agree that we just took on another staff member and she's going to be giving head massages to everybody who comes in. So yes, we are going to be charging you an extra $5 for your haircut, but you're getting significantly more value. Mm-hmm. And by the way, she's cute. She's over there. Do you know what I mean? Like that. And guess what? Some people are going to say, I don't need a head massage. I'm not coming back. Other people are going to go, the head massage is the most relaxing 15 minutes I've had this month. Mm-hmm. And this is why you can afford to lose a few clients, but you end up making more money in the end. Like you added more value, right?
Exactly.
So again, always on that side. But that being said, as Pat just very well described it, it's not a black and white dynamic. You got to be strategic. Like if you've got 1,000 customers, do you go to all 1,000 and raise your prices? No, go to 100 of them, experiment, again, test, measure, decide, and then make, then go from 100 to 1,000 if it worked. And if you went to 100 and it didn't work, you either adjust a strategy or you abort, right? But you're making calculated and strategic decisions as opposed to, hey, my business coach said, my wife said I should raise my prices. So you raise your prices and then you introduce it the way that Pat had it introduced, that, I just raised my price. Ha, ha, ha. And they're just expecting that you know what I mean? Like that's just not the way to do it. Right. And by the way, Pat, I would imagine this isn't like a place where you've been going for 5-10 years. This is probably not a place where you had a really deep relationship. And again, I'd be introducing it differently to 3-year plus clients than I would to You know, a guy who got his first haircut 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago, and this is his next time back.
Well,
right?
let me tell you, Carl, I've probably been going there about 3 years, but this is Japan, so there's Japanese do things a little differently, as you know.
Yeah, as I know exactly. If you read my email over the last few days, I accidentally upset some folks.
Half the population.
But, hey, and I'm laughing, guys. I made a boo-boo, and I'm wearing it. So anybody here, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. That's it. I'm trying to fix it. So there you go. So read my email today and read my email yesterday, and maybe you'll see what happens. But hey, I made a boo-boo, and there you go. So to your Japanese folks, old friends, I don't know Pat used to live there for a long time. So there you go. But it was very much an innocent mistake. I promise you that. Anywho. So there we go. Actually, Pat, I just want to, guys, looking at, see the way that the copy that you're looking at, could you just scroll up for a sec, please, Pat, in this increase? You see the way that there's black text, and then you scroll down, and then there's blue. The blue is the dynamic text. So you're going to see that the 50,000 and the 33% was populated as a result. Like if he changes that to 10 and it says 100,000, that number is going to change. Just an FYI. There we go.
So you could lose 2,500. Still, it's just,
there we go.
It's all relative.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as you're going through, you know that's actually adjusting. So you could literally just be reading your own text after you populate it, and you wouldn't need to do the pullout chart because it effectively tells you, hey man, do you realize you could lose X, Y, Z and still make the same amount of money? So that's kind of what's happening there. And the text is blue for that reason. So there we go. Cool. I like it. Actually, was there one other thing? Anyways, yeah, increased price. Oh, and also Pat mentioned that, like when you increase your prices, that, the extra revenue becomes all profit. That is, that's reflected in the top right hand. Could you just highlight, like the 393,000, it's all reflected there. So don't think you need to be doing any calculating yourself. It's the software looks after it for you. So anyway, so there we go. There we go. Hopefully you guys like that. All right. Diana has got a question for us. Diana, there we go.
Hey,
yo, Diana, you're live.
Hi there. I actually have a few questions if we have time. Cut me off if I'm going on too long, but I spent the weekend
you go.
And came up with quite a list. And thank you, Corey. I loved that idea. As a hypnotherapist, I maintain that people do have so many more of the answers inside than they imagine. So that's great. So one of my questions is, this is all like a new language to me. It's like learning Russian or Assyrian or something. And it's all kind of still blurred together. So I love that idea of doing the slides and the PAS at the same time. But how do you do it? For instance, I studied the PAS over the weekend. I studied a long script. I watched at least 2 or 3 PowerPoints. But now looking back, I don't know where they are. I don't know where Billy Dixon's thing is. I'm going to watch it.
So, okay, let's start with Billy Dixon. That's the easy one.
Yeah.
So if you're at no results, nofeed.com/roleplay.
Perfect.
And then you'll see here in the.
Thank you. Yes. Remember.
This might actually be the second one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I screenshot that. Thank you. And then last week you showed a page of all different little icons, and it included scripts and the new brochure and everything. Yeah. And I wrote someone, and they said, one of the tech people or somebody, and they said they didn't know where it was, and maybe I didn't have access to it because I was only platinum.
Well, let's see here. So when you're on your dashboard, you can click the home icon. And then you'll see down the left, we have resources. You click on resources, Is this
There
what you
it
saw?
is. Okay, great. I will ask you next time.
Yep.
Here's another quick one, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
When you just showed the screen about the that comes to a 33% increase. When we're showing things like that, I have this huge fear that they're going to ask me, well, how did you get to that? Because whenever I would come through those, I could do it after 2 or 3 or 4 tries, not knowing what to divide into what. But what's some easy math so I can always do it the first time? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So let's look at we have to look at our financials to do that. So in our business, we have $1 million business, and this business has a 15% net profit margin, which means up here on the right, the current profit is $150,000.
Okay.
That's the current profit. Now, when you increase prices by 5%, you're going to get 5% of $1 million. That's your revenue. So you get 5% of $1 million. It's $50,000. And you'll take 50,000 and divide it by your current profit.
But that's the key part that I don't know. How do you know in all these different situations what to divide by what?
Okay, so let's say, actually you might be reversed there. You got a current profit of 150,000. You have a $50,000 impact. So your new profit will be $200,000. So you've gone from 150 to 2. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you took 200,000, divide it by 150, you get 1.333. And the impact is actually an additional 33.33%.
But how did you know, as a general working theory, to divide 200 by 150?
Well, that's just math.
I know, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is there a simple math theory at work there?
No, you've got your new profit would be 200. Your existing profit was 150. So what's the increase? It'd be 200 divided by 150.
Okay.
I mean, that's just,
Okay. And then, by the way, the thing you said about give them because, Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point, I think it was, or one of his books, they did a study, and the because doesn't even have to be particularly believable.
Right, exactly.
As long as it's somewhat believable, we'll go with it. Which
that was it wasn't Malcolm Gladwell. Who was it? It was anyway, you're right. I mean, you can give any kind of answer because I think in the example they were using, it was a copier. They were trying to make copies, and they were trying to decide how to butt to the front of the line.
Yeah.
And they say, well, I need to make some copies. I need to jump to the front of the line because my boss needs some copies, or because I'm double parked outside.
Whatever.
And then and then they said because I need to make some copies, and they found that the same percentage in every case let the person jump in front of the line.
True.
And because they used the word because.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what the excuse was. They have some bizarre reason. And so that word because is a very powerful word.
Yeah.
And often helps you get your way.
Love getting my way. Can I
ask? You should use it around the house.
Can I ask another one?
Sure.
Sure can.
There was an example of going from 50 to 39 in the digital marketing impact.
Okay.
So the extra was 50, but then it showed up as 39. And the reason was because there were some costs involved, but we're telling people that there are no costs involved, that we're going to show them 100,000 or whatever without spending any extra money. So how do you put those two things together?
That's the key. It would be spending extra money. Now, it's not spending money, it's spending extra money. You have to assume that someone who's working already has a budget for sales and marketing.
Okay.
So you would say in this case, you're not going to make $50,000 without spending, you're going to make 39.
Okay.
So in actuality, you might be making 50, but your profit on that's 39. That's how I look at that.
Okay. And then when Corey was showing the, or it might not have been Corey. Yeah, I think it was, or no, it might have been the video of doing the PAS. And he was talking about 2 screens and only showing 1 screen. And yeah, and then Corey talking about the PowerPoints.
Mm-hmm.
Where is all that, and how do you show 2 screens at once?
I'm not sure. Maybe we get Corey back on and he can explain that. You want to open up Corey there?
Thank you, Corey.
Corey, we're coming for you, buddy. Hang on. You're self-muted. There he is. Hey, Corey.
Yep.
Are you there, buddy? Hey, did you hear that question?
I didn't hear it.
Diana, could you ask Corey what you're asking?
And Corey, I'm at the point where everything is sort of all merged together. So when you talk, I love that idea of showing the slides at the same time you're doing the PAS. But how, first of all, where is all that? And second, how do you show 2 screens at once? Do you just bring it up on your desktop and then click on?
Yeah. What I do is I pause the screen quite a bit during the POS.
Uh-huh.
And then I have the slides that I had taken the 100K training, the new one, and I had made kind of just redone the slides a bit, just so they kind of made them to my own. And I have about 6 of them for market dominating position, just to quickly kind of run it through about and explain about, like what we did and about the sick and big children and stuff, and about how the squeeze page is more, it's going to get a parent to actually jump at instead of just a regular web page. And then I have like a space, and then I have about 7 slides of the JV partnership, the event chain, wedding industry event chain, and I just have that on a separate.
You did like a screen capture and made your own PowerPoint. That makes perfect sense.
I just share. I have it shared on a different screen, like as set as the PowerPoint presentations, the slideshow, and then I just pause the screen of the PAS, and then I just unpause the other one, and I just share the second slideshow screen quickly with it, and then I just keep pausing and resuming.
Okay, cool. Or you could even take those slides and make a PowerPoint so you didn't have to scroll and stuff. That's great. I love that. Thank you.
Cool beans. Well, there we go. So thanks, Corey. Appreciate that, bud. All right, Diana, does that answer your question? All good?
Well, let's give someone else a chance, and then if there's time, I've got quite a list.
Well, look, you know what? Now, if you got a list, that's what we're here. They're software related primarily?
Yes, but I can't even understand all of the questions. Go to someone else and I'll look through and find some questions I can definitely understand.
No problemos. All right, Diana, put you back on mute. All right. Well, there you go. Now, after that, I look down and we need some questions here, folks. Who am I going to next? John Simpson. You're just unlucky enough to be next on the hit list. So we're coming for you, John. And warning, I'm going to press you for a question. You're self-muted, John, if you want to say hi. John Simpson. Hey, you're live.
Hi. Can you hear me?
John?
Yep.
Any relation to Bart?
I'm actually driving.
How are you?
No, Homer's my dad, though. Yeah, Homer's my dad.
That was a bloody good answer. I didn't think you heard me.
I've never been asked that question before. That's the first time.
Yeah, I bet. Anyways, cool. Any questions for us here on profit acceleration software or your training or anything as you drive down the street, and make sure you keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah, I pulled over, so I'm good. I'm actually brand new, so I don't even have my websites up yet.
Oh wow.
My e-learning is up. I think Friday is when it gets up, and other one, my coach's website gets up the 23rd. So I've just been looking and researching, and I've got a list of people I want to contact. I got some groups I want to contact. I haven't done anything yet because I want to make sure that I hit the ground running and I'm doing the right thing. So really my question is, do I just keep practicing with the software, or is there something else I should be doing as a newbie?
Well, look, you just follow the have you done the 100K training yet? When you
I've done the 2 days, the videos, the 2 days videos.
Yeah. I think,
yes,
you know what?
I've done that.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. So look, the answer is you practice is football, right? You got to practice, but Sunday you got to go play some. You got to go test your new skills. So I want to encourage you to jump into the role play. This is a new process, but as you just heard Corey raving about it, a very valuable one. Hey, Pat, could you just quickly go to where, well, actually, you can't see your screen, John, but it will be for the benefit of everybody. Pat, could you open up the Profit Acceleration, the other link there? So if you just go noresults-nofee.com/role play, and again, for anybody that can see the screen, we popped it up there, but it's just real simple, John, role play. I would encourage you versus just practice it by yourself, because you might be practicing, a couple, maybe something that's not going to work the best in the real world, and Holly's going to help you iron that out. But I would encourage you to do the role play, just follow the process, but get on the phone and start, finding $100,000 for business owners. That's what you really do. That's the next step.
That is, yeah, I'm here. So that's great. I love that. I'm glad you put that up there because I did not know that was there. So I'll go to that and start watching that and go from there.
So to be clear, though, John, what you're looking at, that's not so much something to watch, although you could hit Billy Dixon has an example of what we think a really well done screen share. Not screen share, but like an actual software, example of somebody doing it with a business owner. So it's there for you to look at. But ultimately what you'll do is get together with Holly 3 times and she'll kind of kick you in the butt, critique your process, and, make you a whole lot more confident when you do go out there and do it with a business owner. It's a role play. It's not watching, it's doing. Make sense?
Awesome. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So that's something I can do before I get even get everything up and running, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you jump straight into that.
So you heard Corey Delaney. Corey was there, and he said, hey, I went through this with Holly. I've only done 2. Just closed a client for $997 a month. So there's a $12,000 contract right there, and I mean, what a great return on investment to get up to speed really, really quick.
I'm in. I'll go look at that tonight when I get a chance.
Awesome. Okay, cool bananas. All right, John. So keep cranking, man. But sounds like you're gonna knock it out of the park. So just keep going.
Thank you.
No worries, buddy. There we go. Son of Homer. Bet you didn't expect that today, Pat. Hey, impressive.
Yeah. Who have you offended now?
Yeah. Oh, Lordy. Lordy. All right. Lori McNaughton. There you go. I used to have a buddy in high school named Xander Naughtonboom, and I thought that was the coolest name. I still remember it, but Lori McNaughton, that is not your name, but that is close to your last name. Lori, you're self-muted. If you want to say hello, there she is, or he. Actually, this is Lori. This is he. Lori, what's going on?
I'm just working on a broadcast campaign to set out for a webinar on Monday.
Nice.
Oh. Where did we speak? Did we speak to you on Monday? Because I remember chatting to you. Was it Monday?
I don't think it was this week, but it might have been.
Okay. Yeah, it's all mushing into one, right? I know that feeling. I know that feeling. So tell us, anything we can help you with? Any questions for us?
Oh gosh, this little email thing is occupying my brain right at the moment because I sent it out with the wrong date on it.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, wow.
So actually, the date is correct in everything except for the main email. So I'm just fixing that right now. So my brain is occupied with that. So yeah, I don't really have a question at this particular point.
Can I just ask you, what's this email that's going out? Like, just I want to understand what's the process you're following here.
So it's a through a CRM that I use, and it's out doing a webinar. I'm calling it the 100K Challenge.
Perfect.
And so all it is the email goes out. It's got a web form in it. They fill out the web form, like a landing page web form. If they like what they read, they fill out the landing form. It automatically sends them the email with the link to the webinar, and then they get another link to the webinar the day of the webinar.
Cool. Where'd you get the list from?
It's a list that I've been building over years. I've been coaching since 2004, and so I had been building a list, although I neglected it for a period of time, but I reignited it recently.
Yeah, good stuff. Did you send out a few, like what I'm just going to call, like Gary Vaynerchuk's book? What is it? Jab, 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 left. Is that it? Jab, 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 left hook. Is that his book? Did you warm up the audience is what I'm asking?
I have with previous emails, not in regards to this webinar, but this group has gotten emails from me for the last several months now.
Yeah, I got you. Perfect. Okay, cool.
It's not completely cold.
No, good stuff. Good stuff. So have you announced it? How many people do you got registered for your presentation?
I'm just fixing the email now. I sent it out this morning. So I'm fixing the date, and I got to send out the email. I also have a telemarketer that's booking, but so I don't have anybody booked into it as of yet.
Is your telemarketer going to the same people on the list?
No, she's calling another list that I have because she's calling about doing a PAS and a fallback to the webinar if they don't want to do the PAS.
Gotcha. You might want to think about adjusting that strategy, emailing them about the presentation and then having her call the same list that you're emailing about the webinar, and you might find that that more pour gasoline on your results.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, good luck. When's the presentation?
On this coming Monday at 11:30.
You beauty. All right. Well, good luck filling that bad boy up. Keep us posted with the results. Okay.
Yeah, you bet.
Awesome. Okay. Gonna put you back on mute. Good stuff, Lori. Michael Jenkins. You're self-muted, my friend. You gotta unmute yourself. Michael Jenkins. There we go. Michael, you're live.
Hey, hi everybody. It's my
We're doing
first
fabulous.
time. I didn't have a question, but surprisingly, I'm here. Thank you. Anyway.
No problem. Are you reasonably new? Give us the Michael Jenkins 101.
Reasonably new. Actually, not that new compared to some of the other individuals I've heard speak today. I've been a few months and got involved through Glennis. I forget her name, but I know her name. I talk to her all the time.
So, Yasmin, we call her Gigi. She's a legend.
Yeah, exactly. Glassman, that's exactly right. So yeah, definitely starting to get more into the PAS because we started out talking about the 10K challenge. I know it's gotten to 100,000.
Yep.
But the information apparently is, I haven't really looked at it that carefully since I did the 10K most of the time. But now I'm looking at the PAS and I love the additions that have been made to it. So don't really have a question today, but certainly I expect that I will be continuing to get involved with some of the conversation and have questions that will pop up.
You beauty. Hey, Michael, if you want, and again, benefit of everybody listening, but if those have been around a long time, so we've upgraded the training. It used to be called 10K. It's now called 100K training, but it has been spruced up dramatically. So, Michael, if you want to register and re-go through the training, feel free to do so. You just email the support guys or Adrian, and they'll get you into it. You can rip through it again, which may recommend. It's pretty valuable, and again, some slight variant nuances and adjustments made, so could be valuable for you.
Would I register through no results, no fee?
Yeah, the email address. Yeah, the guys will pull it in. Just go support at, and they'll get you registered. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Carl. I appreciate it.
Awesome. No worries, buddy. Michael Jenkins, put you back on mute while we're in M's. Mike Black. Mike Black, you are self-muted. You got to unmute yourself. Mike Black. Got to unmute yourself, buddy. Mike Black might be being shy. Oh, there we go.
Just trying to find the mute button, that's all.
That's all right. Don't worry. How's it going, Mike Black? What's happening?
Oh, well, not too much at the moment. I'm very fresh out of the blocks. I've just about submitted my 2 requests for websites. Still having a problem with getting my emails sanctioned by Name Silo, which is quite frustrating. But I thought I'd check in here to see how things are progressing with profit acceleration. I've still got to go on some of the courses, but I just wanted to get a flavor of what's out there today.
Okay, beautiful. Lots of newbies here today. All right, good stuff. So have you managed? All right, go.
You're breaking up again?
Oh, sorry. Were you about to ask a question?
No.
Okay, we're getting some feedback. Okay, cool. All right, Mike, we appreciate you here, man. Just follow the process and you'll be well looked after, all right? I'm going to put Mike back on mute. Mike Stewart, Moses Whitry, you left the end. Actually, okay, hang on a sec. Ray, and again, if you have a question, guys, just raise your hand. Ray Jackson, you got your hand raised. Ray, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Carlos?
Fabulous.
Good.
What's going on? How can we help?
Not a whole lot. Of course, I've been seeing some updates with the PAS, whatever. And seeing, I guess, I know it was a strategy to kind of like do some closing calls on here, but I actually kind of seen that there is a kind of like a walkthrough questionnaire, I don't know if that's a full like audit that you kind of like do, but is that after the sale or is that just to close the client?
Pat, can you answer that?
Sorry, ask it again. I'm sorry, I was distracted there.
Oh, he's just asking about the questionnaire like the sales and marketing audit, like the questionnaire prior to getting together and doing the software. Is that formal? Or
I don't think we
have.
I don't know if we posted that. I don't think we have, because we've got different questions that we've used to send out, and I think it was just something that went around the Facebook group.
Yeah, is that what it was?
When you do a new assessment, there's a couple of questions, financial questions and things of that nature, but there's some stuff that we're talking about. But I was trying to see, are you supposed to use those questions for the actual audit after the sale, or would that be prior to closing the call?
Prior to, you need that data, like that's the information that you need in order to really make the profit acceleration software work. So no, you do that prior. And if they're not totally aware, you just use approximates, which covered that lots, and it's all in the training. But you know what I mean? You just get approximates, and you'll be fine that way. The more exact the numbers, obviously, the better. But they're not always going to be available, and that's okay.
Okay. And another question for you. Is anybody doing any live events with the Profit Accelerator software?
Okay, so what's the question? Like, are people doing live events and then getting a room full of people and walking them through the software as the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, two answers. One, yes, Michael Rager, as an example, has had some success with that. But the other answer that I give you is that's not the way that I would be doing it, okay? The reason, 2 words, curiosity, certainty. Number one, if I want to get at you on the phone or into an appointment, my job is to make you curious. How do I do that? I can find you $100,000 in 45 minutes without spending $1 on marketing or advertising. And I could say that to Warren Buffett, Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, Mark Cuban, and they'd be like, how do you do that? Right? I'd be amazed if that wasn't their follow-up question. Okay. Curious. Now you get them into the meeting and your job is to make them certain. And the certainty you're looking for is that you're going to charge them $1, $2, $3 a month, whatever the number is. Let's say it's $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. You need to make them certain that they're going to get a $48,000 return or above. In other words, you're going to double their investment. And then look at Pat's screen here, and you see the top right-hand corner, 355,000. Again, if I'm going to charge you $24,000, I got to convince you that 48,000 of that with 100% certainty will be realized. And that's like me having a 20, you having a 10. I say, do you want to trade? You say, is he full of crap? You look for social proof. And third thing, you make the exchange 100% of the time, right? So I hope so again, long-winded way of answering this. When I did my presentation, I want to educate, because it's like what Corey said earlier, market dominating position, they don't have a clue what the hell it is. Increasing their prices, the way that we described it earlier, I mean, they're not dumb enough to not know what increasing their prices is, but they're easily dumb enough to not know there's a process they should follow and what that process is. Goal setting, right? I don't need to meet your audience to know that 8 out of 10 of them have the goal of hitting $1 million in gross revenues. Well, I could show them how that's the stupidest goal they could have, because they hit $1 million and then lose 80. They hit $1 million and make 40 grand of profit with razor thin margins. So if anything goes wrong, and I mean anything, in the following quarter, in the following year, they lose money, right? So they understand goal setting, but do they understand what goals they should actually have for their business? So you put them in the room, you educate them on the stuff that I believe that they should be educated on, which we have a word-for-word script in the resource center, and the PowerPoints, 104 of them. That's the presentation. And then I close you on the software with curiosity that, basically I've got some software called Profit Acceleration Software. I can find you $100,000, 45 minutes without spending $1 on marketing or advertising. What we'll do, Ray, is we'll take your business and we're going to whip it through 497 million weighted algorithmic sequences. It's then going to populate a roadmap that we are going to basically populate together as I sit beside you, or we hang out on the phone. And at the end of that call, you're going to know exactly what to do, when to do it, and the financial impact it's going to have on your company. Would you like to get together? I don't know. If there's 10 people in the room, 8 of them just dove towards my feet and don't want me to leave, if you know what I mean. Clearly, I'm exaggerating, but you get the idea, right? So I would, if you did, so again, let me come back to your question. Would I do the software in a live setting? I think that if you liked my close I just gave you 10 seconds ago, you would have lost the curiosity and the impact of it by going through the software in the live setting. Because now they don't need to see it. They already know. They just looked at it for an hour and a half. Make sense?
Okay, gotcha. I understand.
And that, and Ray, importantly, and for the benefit of everybody listening, this is not a black and white. Michael Rager used the software in a like he brought a business owner up and basically ripped them through it, and he had tremendous success and it worked, right? But that doesn't change my mind. I would do it education, close with curiosity. Now we get together on the phone or we get together one-to-one to do the software, and my job is certainty. So actually probably 3 steps: education, curiosity, certainty. And certainty is how you get the check.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Gotcha.
Actually, and just Ray, and again, for everybody listening, like certainty, another example that I used to do, I would have a check in my inside pocket of my suit jacket when I was sitting down and going through the equivalent of the profit jumpstart. And when it came time to close you, if you were squirming or umming and ahhing, and again, depended upon the situation, but I would whip out the check and fill it out for whatever the number was. And I would date it 12 months from today and say, does this make you feel more comfortable? And they're like, how can I say no to this? Right? Let's go. So certainty, that's how you close, these $24,000 consulting agreements. Curiosity to get the appointment, certainty to close it. I hope, does that help, Ray?
Yes, helps a lot.
Beauty. Okay, buddy. So there you go. And do you know where to go find like just the resource center? Pat, can you just hit the house there? Just go to the hit resources, and this is where you're going to find your scripts and PowerPoints and everything else. Okay.
Yeah.
Two bananas. You bet. Okay, Ray, appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. And guys, we're coming towards the end here. Again, hopefully that was helpful. Pat, may I ask, would you add anything would you agree with what I said about the presentation and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many ways to do a presentation. It's based on your experience, your ability with software or ability to close a room, your personality, your audience, your setting, all those things. And so there might not be one correct way. I think you just try something, and if it works, I mean, I would try and model, first of all, what Carl's done here, but make it your own, make it and see what you do. And if you're closing people from the front of the room, then I mean, you can't really argue with that, right? So everyone's going to do a little differently. I'm going to be different from Carl. Carl's different from Adrian. We're all different, but we want to get to the same result, which is helping people. And the way we help people is we sign them up and we help them.
Yeah, agreed. High five. And again, I think, guys, when you're just thinking about it, you rise up 30,000 feet. It might not be a bad framework to just think educate. Because again, and how do I educate? I said this, like I say it consistently, and I'll continue to. As I'm educating you, remember, I'm looking for things. I want to shake you. The mistake, again, the average coach. What do they do wrong? I see him singing Kumbaya, and let's say Pat is my possible client. I'm like, Pat, I can't wait to get started. This is going to be so amazing. Your revenues are going to quadruple. Your business is going to be, your business is that dream business you described an hour ago. That's the one we're going to build. Golly gee willikers, I can't wait. Let's go, right? Well, and that's okay. Enthusiasm, I think that's great, but that's not the way that I would do it. I would say, Pat, the mistake that you possibly and other business owners are definitely are making are, and then list them. So I'm listing things that I stand against, right? We flip through Facebook and we read multiple streams of income, and then we follow it and we buy the book, and then we think that multiple streams of income are the goal. And maybe they are, maybe they're not. I'll tell you, Bill Gates, he's not into multiple streams of income. Jeff Bezos, not into multiple streams of income. What they're in is making one stream of income absolutely bulletproof and then worrying about others, right? So Pat or Dave or whoever I'm sitting across from, look, let's get one revenue stream up to $5 million. Okay, so let's get this company trucking on $5 million a year with decent profit margins that look like about 20%. Okay, so you're sitting on a 7-figure nest egg. And then we can worry about the real estate and the stock markets and becoming Warren Buffett, right? So good example, bad example. Idea being, I'm talking about things that I'm standing against. Again, your goal is to make $1 million. That's crazy. $1 million. You could lose 80 grand. You'll get what you want and then lose 80 grand. See, step number 1, education. 2 is curiosity, and 3 was certainty. Number 1, education. As I'm educating you, I'm not just talking about how amazing everything is and singing Kumbaya. I'm taking stands against things that I know to be false, right? Like a 4-hour work week. Give me a break, right? People, they buy the book, they read the cover, they forget to read the book, and they think that it's a book about working for 4 hours and actually accomplishing anything, right? Pat's not working for 4 hours. I'm not working for 4 hours. Adrian is definitely working for 4 hours. We're not pretending to work 4 hours and actually going to accomplish something. You're not doing it. I'm not doing it. Nobody's done it. Bezos doesn't do it. Bill Gates didn't do it. And the list goes on. So if you read the book, The 4 Hour Work Week, which by the way is a great book, it just has the title is not representative of what it's about. It's a lifestyle book, and it's about getting 40 hours of work done in 4 hours. That would be a closer representation than working 4 hours a week, right? So that is an example of something that I would tell my audience where they go, oh my gosh, I thought it was all about a 4 hour work week. He's right. Shoot. So I just shook people. I kind of disturbed them a little bit. And this is how you're going to get appointments. This is when I say education, this is the kind of thing I'm educating them on. So there you go, folks. I hope that's helpful. But again, education, curiosity, and then certainty. Toyin has got a question. Pat, sorry, go. Are you going to say something?
No, I was going to say the same thing. Toyin.
Beautiful. You're self-muted. Toyin.
And then also, while we're waiting for Toyin, hey, Diana, I wrote you an email, so just have a look at that email and just respond to me there.
Hey, Toyin, we're live.
Hi, Carl.
How's it going?
Very well, thanks. So I'm fairly new. I guess I'll say I'm still a newbie coach. I've been with you guys for about 2 months now. So the question I have really is, I've been recently introduced to a business owner who runs a healthcare home, and they're generating. I'm based in the UK, so they're generating about £7 million in annual revenue with about 200 employees spread across the UK. And while they're quite interested in working with a coach, they've never done that before. They've just grown the business through hard work and firefighting. The question for me is, how would I use the profit acceleration software to help that business owner to take their business to the next level, given that they're already generating about £7 million?
Yep. I want you to feel comfortable that 7,700,000, 70,000, you're going to find, ridiculous, you know what I mean? There's going to be consistencies without doubt. That being said, how familiar are you with this business?
Not very familiar. I've recently been introduced to them, and I had a conversation with them, and they seem very excited and keen to jump on a call and go through the acceleration software to see what it can do for them.
Okay, cool. So here's what I would do. Look, let's face it, it's a $7 million company, which is a little bit different than a $700,000 company. Commit to doing some work before the appointment. I would go through their website reasonably well. Listen, you're looking at their copy, like go to their About Us page, and I want to know, does it talk about them or does it talk about me, the potential user? Okay, that's going to give you an angle. I would go to their LinkedIn page, like, the CEO and, the XYZ manager. I would go look at a few of their LinkedIn profiles. Again, I'm reading about the company, their value proposition. How is it worded? Is it worded about how amazing they are and their 25 years of experience? Or is it talking in benefit speak, where when you work with us, here's the magic that you're going to experience, so that, benefit end user or how experienced they are. So that's what I would do. I would do a little bit of homework, and all I'm describing, again, for benefit of you, but everybody listening, when I walk into their office, and you're going to do a little bit about this beforehand, I need to establish the little red arrow, you are here. Do you know what I mean by that, Toyin? Does that make sense? Ideally, a little red arrow?
Yeah, absolutely.
So because, and again, I would do that with the $70,000 company and the $700,000 company as well. Just, it's up to you how much work you're willing to do for free prior to getting there. But a lot of that homework will be, well received. Is that the right, you know what I mean? Like when you come in and you're able to say, look, I looked at this, I looked at that, I looked at this, I looked at that. That's going to give you a leg up without question. And look, and with that, I would go through the 12 areas you're looking at on the Profit Jumpstart. And the only adjustment that I might make with a $7 million and above company, let's say $5 million and above, is I might end up going. Could you go to the Jumpstart 40, please?
Yeah, I just wanted to show something.
Yeah.
Here, if I can.
Yes, please do. Yeah, please do.
So let's say you have here a $7 million company, and you find an impact in one area of 3%. I promise you, this is just the Jumpstart 12. You could use the Jumpstart 40 and probably find 10 or 15 or 20 areas. So you find one area of 3%. That's a $210,000 increase in revenue with a 50% gross profit margin. Well, actually, this is increased prices, so it's all profit. So when you go to ROI tab, and let's see if this can load because my internet's slow, but we're looking at, I got to put my coaching fee in, monthly investment in coaching. Let's say you charge them $2,000, could be pounds, could be dollars. Down here, that's one thing they're going to get. This is actually not correct, Carl. I'm going to have to ask William about this because we've got an impact in increased prices, and it's showing only half of that. So that's a little glitchy.
That might be because of your implementation might be stretched. Oh no.
No, it's not that. But I'll check with William in this. Yeah, so it should be 210,000. Okay. So you're at 24,000 pounds a year of coaching. You're going to hit about 800 and whatever, 76% ROI, and that's just looking at one area. So actually working with a 7 million pound company is so much easier to coach. There's so many more moving parts. They have so many more people to help you implement. You only, you don't want to find more than 3% in an area. I would definitely avoid saying, hey, 10% here, 10% there. Keep it 1, 2, 3%. Keep it very, very conservative. And you're going to find a lot to do in this company. Like this one area alone of digital marketing. This question number 5, if we were to put together a comprehensive digital marketing improvement program for your business that included more compelling marketing and offers online targeted to your ideal clients, by what percent do you think we should be able to increase? So just do like a basic examination. I mean, if you can't get 3% there, then maybe the company's maximized everything to the hilt because they're an online company and they've split tested everything every which way for years. You might not get 3, but most companies you're going to get 3, 5, 10, 20% there. So I'd say, man, your opportunity in a big company is so easy. And what I would do definitely, if you find that you've got a lot of areas here that you've impacted, the first thing you want to do when you see a big number in here on the impact, going to come in and just going to raise your prices. Maybe it's $4,000 a month or something, because you'll be able to get a high ROI and be able to close them on that. But anyway, have a look at that and maybe just do like a test role play, ask questions and see how they might answer. You'll see the numbers rack up real quick.
There we go. Good thing we have Pat here, folks. There you go.
Yep, excellent. Thanks.
Toy, what do you think?
You're welcome.
Does that help you? Make you feel comfortable? Any other question?
Yeah. That's great. That's really wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I feel comfortable enough to go back. I've started doing some research already, so I've got a few things in my back pocket. So
what kind of business did you say it was? Is it a home health? What is it?
It's a healthcare agency, so they do like end of life care support for the elderly. When the hospital says they can't help them again, they need to go back home, and then someone needs to look after them. So they provide support staff to go there to take care of all these people, and then they've got like 10 different branches spread across the UK.
Yep, love it. So they're mobile. They're going to they don't have a facility. They're actually going to the home to do the care for the elderly.
Yes, they go to the home to take care of the family.
Yeah, aging population. That business, if they do a good job, is we've got some pretty cool marketing material. When we used to run some training on had to sell this is 10 years ago, but had to close a $50,000 coaching client. And one of the niches that we got everybody to build the homework in was in elderly care. So we might, anyways, see how you go with that. But we might be able to help you with some. We'd have to look in some archives, but we could find you some pretty good marketing material to help you. So there you go. Good luck.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Awesome. All right, Toyin. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. Well, there you go. Kenya Pat, we are done. Appreciate everybody showing up. Appreciate everybody playing full out. There we go. All right. Well, Kenya Pat is off to bed, and we are off to work. So there we go. Or maybe he's going to bed. Who knows?
Well, my late 4-hour work week happens every evening after dinner.
I love it. There we go, folks. All right. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Kenya Pat.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate you, man, and your genius, bud. And we will see you all on Thursday. Adios, folks.
Bye-bye.